So, as you can see, the players are already on court for the next of our matches, and it is mixed doubles this time. And we have the Dutch pairing of Ruiter and Samantha Barning. And they're up against the defending champions, Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Natsir. Indonesians, number 4 seeds this year. And they, like Ratchanok in our previous match, are former world champions. Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Natsir, but they are defending champions here, up against the European bronze medalists, Jorrit de Ruiter and Samantha Barning. Now in the Netherlands, they would pronounce her name Samantha, but we're going to stick with the English version of that, Samantha, of course. So Liliana Natsir, 29 years of age, from Manado. She has in fact won this title here twice, having won in 2007 with Nova Widianto. Tontowi Ahmad, recently married, 27-year-old. And last year, in the final of the China Open, the Indonesian pair beat the Danish combination of Jukka Fischer-Nielsen and Christina Pedersen. So to Barning, 25 years of age, her partner 27, although he's going to turn 28 later this month. 15 tournaments for the Dutch pairing this year. They've been in 2 finals, the Canadian Grand Prix and the Dutch Grand Prix as well. 5 semi-finals as well. They really have been very, very consistent. And as you can see, this will be the second meeting between the two. The first time was over a year ago, about 18 months ago, at the Swiss Grand Prix Gold. But let me draw your attention to the Dutch pairing's first round match, where they beat Ricky Widianto and Puspita Rishi Dili of Indonesia. Very good Indonesian pair, and that was a magnificent win for the Dutch partnership. 22-20, 21-10 the scoreline there, and they did look very impressive en route. Well, as far as this Indonesian pair are concerned, they had Thailand opposition in the first round against Manipong Jongjit and Sapsari Tagarat Tanachai. 25-23, and then very comfortable in the second game, 21-9. So 5 finals from 8 tournaments so far this year for the Indonesians. And that really is very, very consistent.
Yeah, there's no doubt that one of my favourite players on the World Circuit is Natsir. I think she's such a good player. But let's see how it goes here in my book. They are favourites to win.
Natsir to serve to Jorrit. Level. Play.
Yes, the defending champions, far side of the court. Number 4 seeds this year, number 4 in the world ranking. And just to emphasise your point there, of course the Dutch pairing 26 in the world ranking, but I hasten to add that they're only just becoming regulars on the Super Series tour, and I like the way that they have developed themselves as a pair, starting off on the international challenger events, then moving on to the Grand Prix, then the Grand Prix Golds, and now here they are, having had that success, having learnt how to win. They're now tackling the Super Series. I do like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of players and coaches and setups and so on can learn a lot from this situation. It pays off to play the lower tier of events first, because you gain a lot of experience from it. And I feel a lot of players are jumping too soon and too early into the bigger tournaments if a chance is given. And you know, they travel the world, play 1 round, maybe even qualifying, and then they go back home again. And what do you learn from that?
Yeah. serve far too loose.
2-all.
You know, if again, as a coach, you look at it from both sides, and if I was going to play the Indonesian combination here, there's no doubt that you have to keep Natsir away from the net as much as possible, and one of the ways of doing that is flicking some more serves. Just flick some serves and get her to the back and get her away from the net, and where she's so demanding and she's commanding the game completely.
Especially in this first game when you're playing against the drift.
Oh yeah, you've got an even better chance here.
Yeah.
Much better chance. Look at that, that's awesome. The way she's doing that, she's playing the tight net shot, waiting for that overhead as well, and she is doing it so well.
That's nice.
Yeah, well, what was nice as well was Samantha's smash. If you noticed, it was really placed very high up, and it was difficult for Natsir to defend it. It was an easy kill by the partner.
Serve for card.
Oh, service ball call struck above the waist.
5-3.
Here's Cabet. France, our service judge for this one.
Six, 3. Seven, 3.
Just indicating he wants the shuttle changed. Well, I know it's early stages, Morton, but it seems to me as if the Indonesians at the moment are just a pace above their opponents.
They are. It's one-way traffic, as I normally say, and I think the Dutch combination really have to take the pace out of the game if they can. They're getting into these flat drive exchanges, and the Indonesians are much stronger in that part of the game. They really have to play block shots and possibly some good lift into the deep corners, try to get Ahmad out of position and all that, and see if they can get Natsir to the back of the court, and because in this way they will not win.
Service server 9-4. Oh. 10-4.
Yeah, they're not even really getting into the rallies, are they, as such?
Nope.
For interval.
11-4, just 5 minutes of play.
Soft to the net. You need to cover this one. Step a little more up. And Ahmad, do the same. Up to the net. Step up both of you up with the racket, you cover very much straight. You can try to play cross defense. Yes. And then when you do it, step up. Don't be afraid to do it.
Hot one, 20 seconds. Hot one, 20 seconds.
Very much. Step up in the other side.
Yep.
Danish accent there.
Yes.
The Dutch coach.
Yes, his name is Kim. And he used to be a coach in the Danish national setup.
11-4.
Chose some years ago to opt out of it, and I met him at the airport.
4.
I think about possibly a year ago, and he said to me, "Do you know what? I'm actually going to Holland now and do some coaching there, which I'm really, really looking forward to." So good to see him around again, and I'm sure he's having a great job in Holland.
Yeah, very convenient for us. We don't need you to translate for once from
No,
a Danish coach telling us what's happening.
Yeah, so true. But this was a very nice rally played by the Dutch here. And here we have Kim in the picture.
Yeah, he was asking them to.
Yeah, step up a bit means that he wanted them to move forward on the court and not to be as defensive as they were in the beginning. But it's difficult, you know,
Yes,
when
yeah.
Liliana Natsir is just controlling that net completely, playing the shots whatever she wants. She's playing them in very tight to the front court, and then the Dutch are just forced to lift it.
Yeah. Into the rally ball there.
Yes.
6-30.
Mr. Meineke.
Yeah, Richard.
Yeah, I used to play him.
Me too.
Yes.
Did
yeah.
you
Yeah,
play him in men's doubles then, or?
I actually think I played him in singles.
Good gracious.
Yes. Oh.
Service
All options.
14-6.
She does have delightful racket skills. I can see why she's one of your favourite players on the
Service
world
server
tour.
7-14.
Definitely.
Service server 15-7. Service server 8-15.
But somehow I think the Dutch player is getting more into it after the mid-game interval.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that the tactic is possibly working out a little bit, and they're getting more used to it and getting into the match.
Not the best of serves
Service
there.
server
Of course, I mean,
16.
for them, I mean, we talked about the fact that they've been playing the lower tier of tournament. They're now on the big stage, literally. Millions of people watching on television. It's a daunting prospect. You know, you're bound to be a little bit nervous when you first go onto court.
And drawn on court number 1.
Yeah.
from Germany. 2号场地将要进行的是男子单打比赛，由来自中国的陈龙对阵来自德国的马克茨维克勒。
But it is really difficult for the Dutch combination to get out of the service situation. So often they get caught around the serve, either when they're returning or when they're serving themselves, and that's one of the key areas they have to start working on to make progress in tournaments like this.
18-9.
Well, I like the way she switched her defence there. Just didn't push through enough to get the shuttle over the net, but I did like that change from the forehand defence to the backhand. Well, nobody's going to be able to defend that time.
That's pleasure.
19-9.
That's a very relaxed
Yeah.
Natsir. And when she's like that and she plays like what she's doing, she's awesome.
Service over 10-19. Service over 20, game point 10.
Game points for the defending champions.
Service over 11-20.
Yeah, here it comes.
First game
So
won by
21-11.
Ahmad Natsir, 21-11.
As confirmed by the umpire. A very comfortable opening game for the defending champions, just 14 minutes. But perhaps with those nerves at the start of the match settled, perhaps we might see better resistance from the Dutch pairing in game number 2.
Dengan defense kamu bisa tumpai gitu loh. Kalau jadi mana maju diangkat di defense kamu bisa ngatur bisa tumpai. Ya kan? Masih tetap fokus, tetap fight, tapi sambil latihan ya. Biar kamu tenang kamu bisa tumpai bukan kalau kan semua lah. Jadi lagi itu, tapi jangan kendor. Ya kan? Baik, kamu oh ya. Ya, hati ya.
20 seconds. Hold on 20 seconds. Yeah, ready.
The Ruiters really looking very determined.
Second
Yeah,
game,
I like the body language of the
Yeah.
Dutch pair as they return to
Bravo.
court.
Yeah.
Yep.
play. One, love. Two, love.
Well, she has had incredible success over the years, Liliana Natsir, especially in the mixed doubles discipline. 40. That's 40 career titles, 37 of them in the mixed doubles discipline.
Service server 1, 2.
And she has partnered. Oh, I'm in trouble here, but
Go on.
no, but she has partnered 3 mixed doubles partners where she made it all the way to the top.
Service server
Am I correct on that?
3, 1.
No,
No, 4.
no, I think only 2.
Only 2. Okay.
I think it was Nova Widianto. Yes, she got to the final
What?
of the Japan Open last year, maybe the year before, with Mohamed Rijal.
Okay.
But that was a one-off. And basically, she started playing with Nova Widianto when she was 16 or 17.
Okay. Then I possibly confused it a bit with Marissa.
Ah, yes, Vita Marissa. Yeah.
She
Yes.
has partnered
Yeah.
more players and made it all the way to
Absolutely.
the top.
And in women's doubles as well. In fact, one of her women's doubles partners,
Where Natsir.
Natsir.
Yeah.
Exactly.
1.
On paper, an extremely strong women's doubles combination, but I think they had a downfall that both of them wanted to play the front of the court and none of
Yeah.
them really wanted to work at the back.
Yeah,
Out.
I
And
agree
despite
with
that,
that.
they possibly
2,
made a lot of good results.
6.
2 Super Series titles.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
China Masters in 2007 and the Indonesian Super Series a year later.
Service server 7, 2.
But in the earlier today, Morten, we were talking about Lindan and players playing the reputation instead of the man on court. And I'm watching this mixed doubles now, and I mean we've added to the aura because we've been singing the praises of Liliana Natsir and saying how wonderful she is. And it's almost because she's stamped her authority so early on in that opening game. We saw a couple of times when she intercepted and she's looked so relaxed and, you know, been in the right place at the right time. It's almost as if this Dutch combination are playing against her reputation.
Now, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's just standing there. Look at that.
10, 2.
And the sheer pressure
Yeah.
of her presence is enough, because there was no point in making a mistake there by the Ruiter. He was not really under pressure.
Nicely finished off.
11-2 interval.
So 9-point advantage at the mid-game interval. Is it a little more difficult? We talked in the last match, women's singles, about, you know, how Han Lee, we felt she just needed to have that mental approach of, you know, I haven't done all this training, I haven't gone out on the early morning runs to get thumped here. Is it more difficult in doubles to use that attitude because it's more difficult to find the gap? So it's not just a question of hard work and so on. Tactically, you have to be a little more astute to break down. I mean, I know they're a world-class pair. They're, you know, 3 times all-England champions, former world champions, the Indonesians. But somehow it seems, you know, I'm thinking in my own mind, well, why aren't the Dutch working harder? But it's more difficult in doubles, isn't it?
It makes it, it's more difficult, but to get into it, they have to have this more attacking style. If, you know, if they want to let off some steam and really get into it by smashing, you know, and really being aggressive, that's a way of doing it. You know, in singles you can run and you can play patient and you can get that out of the system in that way, but in doubles another way of doing it is to get that attack and possibly, you know, thump it and really hit it hard and work it hard and really be as quick as possible. And that's another way of doing it.
Yeah. I thought for a moment that was going to go over.
I thought so too.
That would have been cruel.
It would have been, yes.
Yeah, complete mishit. That came off the frame.
Yeah, but it was close.
Hot. Service over 13-5.
But that's the kind of play that's really suiting the Indonesians, and these flat exchanges, and somehow the Dutch pair have to try to avoid it. But 14-5 down in this second game makes it really, really difficult.
Service over 6-14.
But again, if we go down into tactics of this game, the Dutch are actually blocking quite a number of shots, and they are blocking them nicely.
Yeah.
But what is lacking is the follow-up. You know, there's no point in blocking it. Yeah, that's it. That was good. Yeah, that was much better.
14.
But that, you know, there's no point in blocking it if you're just standing back.
Yeah.
Then Natsir would just block it again, and then they have to lift. They have to follow up. So let's see if we will get a few more examples of it in the remaining part of this second game.
You know, I can remember my former mixed doubles partner, Steve Fladberg, saying to me, don't be afraid, you just go for it at the net. I will cover everything else.
Everything else.
And you have to have that attitude, don't you? Because, I mean, when you're playing against such a good pair, you have to take those half chances.
Oh, yes. But merely the fact that you make the move is adding on pressure.
Yeah.
From China.
3号场地将要进行的是混合双打比赛，由来自俄罗斯的伊夫简尼基何瑞明、伊夫金娜尼诺娃对阵来自中国的徐晨马竞。
Umpire Kelvin Martin, Barbados. Service judge 周建飞 China.
本场比赛裁判员海文马丁，巴巴多斯。发球裁判员周建飞，中国。
Service over 16.
That's a pity, that was a nice idea. Just not really used to this pace, Dutch pair, are they?
No, this, it seems very straightforward and very easy for the Indonesians, and they simply have 3 or 4 more gears to use.
Yeah.
Fault. 18.
Yeah, good placement of the smash from Natsir.
Still, de Ruiter must have been quite disappointed with himself not getting that one back.
19-9.
2 points away from a place in the quarterfinal for the defending champions.
Out. Service server 10-19. Service server 20, match point 10.
So match points.
Yeah, one can only say that the Indonesians have totally overpowered the Dutch combination here, and very well deserved to have match point after only 27 minutes.
Best rally of the match.
Absolutely the best so far. And that's what I mean, you know, if you want to let off some steam, this is the kind of rallies that would do nicely. Work hard. Lungs are really starting to pump.
Yeah, well played.
Service server 11-20.
Oh, this is the sitter. And therefore the match. Symmetry in the scoreline. 21-11, 21-11 in 28 minutes of play.
The match
And that was a pity, that final rally after such a good penultimate rally.
Ahmad, Natsir 21-11, 21-11.
Well, the match combination, I'm sure, will have learned from this encounter.
Yeah, and their first match,
Yeah,
you know, yesterday, winning was good.
yeah, indeed. It's the pair that reached the final of the Singapore Super Series event. But here, the defending champions, Ahmad and Liliana Natsir, safely through to the quarterfinal. 21-11, 21-11.
Umpire, Ruiter team, Singapore. Service judge, Liu Yun, China.
本场比赛裁判员理查德·丁，新加坡。发球裁判员。
So for our last match this afternoon, and we once again turn our attention to men's doubles. It's the number 8 seeds from China, Chai Biao and Hong Wei, up against the pair from Thailand, Manipong Jongjit.